Welcome Princeps to Crucible Forge, the channel map-based campaign, which will be a game within a game. This video will be your guide to how everything will work. A copy of Titan Death and Shadow and Iron would be handy, but not essential. Hopefully we'll explain enough as we go on. In this video I'm going to cover the victory conditions, how the battle groups interact on the map, the territories, and the phases of the map-based campaign itself. Victory conditions. Okay, so there are three ways in which a player can win this campaign, and the first being destroy all enemy battle groups. So haven't gone into battle groups. The next video we're going to do is going to be all about the starting battle groups for this campaign, so it made sense to make that a separate video, but you can win the campaign by destroying them all. So we're going to start with 4 each. The reason it's 4 is because we have enough models between myself and Steve to do 4 1500 point starting battle groups each. Okay, so if you can destroy all them or make them so they can't fight, you're going to dominate the board and you're going to win the campaign. The second way is to reach an agreed honour points total, and we're using the domination system, which is on page 90 of Titan Death, and it basically means you're going to score points for winning games and holding objectives, and you'll see later how much those are worth. And we're going to play up to a total. I've decided after sort of working out roughly how many you may or may not score a turn, I'm going to play up to 300 honour points, which I'm hoping will give us at least 10 rounds of campaign. So this is untried, untested, but moving things around and having a look at the numbers, I'm going to go with 300. We can change it if we need to. Okay, but that's what we're going to start with. The third way is taking all the territories. Now there are 16 territories on our map, ranging from hives, spaceports, fortresses and cities. So if you can, and it's going to be very difficult because you've only got 4 battle groups, and you'll see later on again how they work on the map, but it could be that your opponents has had to fall back into certain positions and you've managed to grab territories. I think this is almost, let's say, improbable, not impossible, but it is a way that you can win the campaign. Take all 16 territories on the map. Okay, so that is the 3 ways that you can win this campaign. Okay, Princeps, so territories, quite important in a campaign-based scenario. Territories and the map-based campaign have 4 major roles. The first being that if you take them all, you win the campaign. Secondly, they provide you with armory points, and armory points you acquire at the end of every phase for the territories you hold, and you can use those points to rearm, repair and rebuild your battle groups, so very important. Honour points, they provide you with honour points at the end of the phase, and every territory will have a different amount of honour points it will give you. Again, we said at the previously that you add up your honour points for victories and territories held. We were playing up to 300, and they help you get up to that total again to win the campaign. Each territory will have a defensive rating, and this will work if you have a battle group on your territory and you are attacked by another battle group whilst you're defending that territory, i.e. that game will be played over that territory. You will receive extra stratagem points based on its defensive rating. So a hive is +2, so you will receive as a defender +2 stratagem points. So that's the difference between fighting an open battle and fighting a battle on one of your own territories, and each one will have a different rating, which you'll see shortly. Okay, so first up are hives. These are the biggest and best territories to hold during the campaign. There are 6 of these on our map. So their armory points is 500, honour points is 5, and a defensive rating of 2. Next up is a couple of spaceports. So yeah, only 2 as you can see. They're worth 400 in armory, 4 honour points, and also have a defence rating of 2. Next up, 4 fortresses. Christ, try saying that fast. So yeah, 4 of those. Armory points 300, honour points 3. You can see a theme here, but because they're fortresses, the defensive rating is 3, so if you are defending one of these, you're going to get 3 extra stratagem points. Last but not least are the cities, and we've got 4 of these dotted around, and they're going to be worth 200 armory points. Honour points is 2, and they're going to have a defensive rating of +1. Campaign phases. Okay, so number 1 will be the movement, and this will be how the battle groups move around the board, taking territories and interacting with enemy battle groups. 2, once all the movement is done, you will fight battles with any battle groups that are occupying the same space, and I'll go into that when we look at the map. Phase 3 will be after the battle, so I'll be salvaging the battle, which is on page 80 of Shadow and Iron, and calculating experience, which is on page 86 of Shadow and Iron. Phase 4 is also after the battle. It's calculating armory points and honour points from territories and victories, which I went over briefly with the type of territories. So page 77 is the victories chart and the honour points and armory points that we've done ourselves. Also, you'll get your opportunity for repairs and reinforcements and upgrades. So repairs and reinforcements, I think, are on page 76 of Shadow and Iron, and upgrading is on page 90. We'll go into more detail of how the battle groups work with armory points and all that in our next video, which will be all about the battle groups themselves. Phase 5 is phase complete, start a new phase. So with that said and done, let's go and have a look at the map and see how things move. So here we are on the map of Crucible Forge. We're just going to go through examples of how the phases will work. So as you can see, the territories are down. On the left hand side we've got little green Sons of Horus. On the right hand side, little yellow Imperial Fists. They're going to represent territories held by loyalist and traitor sides. At the top you can see an example of the traitor battle groups deployed, and on the bottom you can see an example of the loyalist battle groups deployed. And all we're going to do is, like a game of AT, we're going to roll for first player and then take turns at deploying our battle groups at the back line of your side of the board. So at the beginning of every phase, the first thing we do is roll for first player. Again, you can choose, if you win or not, who's going to be the first or second player. And then we go into movement. Movement's very simple. You will pick a battle group. So for argument's sake, say the loyalists, you pick a battle group, so Solaria, you roll a d3, roll a 2, and can move 1 space. Once you're on the map, you can choose to remain stationary if you wish, but you have to be on the map first. You can't stay on your back line. And you can move up to whatever you roll. So if you roll a 3, you can move 1, 2, 3, or remain stationary. And then the traitor player will go. So let's take this Mortis battle group here. Rolls a 6, so can move up to 3. Like so. And you continue to go back and forth until all the battle groups have been moved. So here you can see all the battle groups have moved, apart from this Gryphonicus one here. And for argument's sake, say it rolled a 3 and can now move 1, 2, 3 and engage that Mortis battle group. So you can only have 1 battle group per hex unless you're engaging, and if you're engaged before you've moved, you are now locked in. And that's pretty much it for movement. Once all the battle groups have been moved, we go into the fight battles phase. So this could be anywhere from 0 to 4 battles per round. As you can see in our previous example, the Gryphonicus battle group engaged with the Mortis one, and they will fight. The Gryphonicus battle group is the attacker and will get to choose the type of mission. The Mortis battle group is the defender And if you're on a hex with a territory, you can use the defensive rating of that territory, which will give you bonuses to your stratagem points. Once all the battles have been fought, the defeated battle groups must make a retreat move up to 3 hexes in any direction, finishing on an unoccupied or friendly territory hex, and cannot finish on an unoccupied territory or enemy territory hex, like so. Also, after each battle, you can salvage the battlefield, which is on page 80 of Shadow and Iron, and calculate the experience, which is on page 86, I think, of Shadow and Iron. So the last phase is calculating your armory points and honour points from territories and victories, and at this point we can see who is left holding what territories, and we mark them with the appropriate Space Marine, whether it's Sons or Horus or an Imperial Fist. So as battle groups move and fight, you can see that territories can change hands quite rapidly. And then once that's done, you can spend your armory points on repairs, reinforcements and upgrades. So that's the full round and all the phases in it. Clear as mud? Good. So I hope you enjoyed that. I hope it does make sense. That's the campaign. Next video is going to be the starting battle groups. Hope you enjoyed this. If you do, like it, share it, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video. Any questions, stick it in the comments box. Cheers, Princeps. We'll see you on the next video.